grave. What could it mean? The return of the Dragonborn? Who among us could possibly hold that honor and such power?
And here we all are. Shall we step inside? We're particularly interested in the prevalence of magical seals placed on the tombs here. It's rather unlike anything we've encountered. Anything at all that might be of interest. That's why I adore this location. We have no idea what we're going to find. And if along the way my message about the dangers of magic should happen to sink in for a few students, that would be a happy coincidence. Take a look. Good. All right. Please stay close to me while we're inside. It should be safe, but it's always better to be cautious. As some of you may know, Sarthal was one of the earliest Nord settlements in Skyrim. It was also the largest. Sacked by the elves in the infamous Night of Tears, not much is known about what happened to Sarthal. This is an exciting opportunity for us, to be able to study such an early civilization and the... Well, are there any questions before we begin? Ah, yes. Well, why don't you see if you can assist Arniel Gain? He's one of our scholars, here working on cataloging our finds. I expect he'd appreciate some help in locating any additional magical artifacts here in the ruins. Any enchanted items will do. The usefulness of the enchantment is irrelevant. If you find anything, the class can look it over. Now let's see. What shall we have the rest of you do? Berlina, my dear, why don't you search for warding magics? Anything designed to keep people out. Don't interact with them, just identify them. All right, everyone. Let's be careful. Have fun.
I wonder if everyone else would be so happy to rifle through the bones of their ancestors. New here too, eh? I'd hoped I wouldn't be the only Nord, but I should have known better. Not at all. I consider it a blessing. My family was convinced coming here was a death sentence, or worse. It took years of insisting that this is what I'm meant to do. Hopefully, we can learn something from the experience. How the ancient Nords used magic. Maybe even what happened to this place. Well, look at the evidence. Nords generally don't trust magic, so it's not off to a good start. Throw in the Oblivion Crisis, which was caused by magic users, and the troubles now with the Aldmeri Dominion, who are elves and magic users. And finally, take the fact that the college is the only thing left standing after most of Winterhold was destroyed. It's all fairly damning. No, there's no chance anyone in authority approved this. Our ancestors should be allowed to rest in peace. I'd better get going. I wonder if everyone else would be so happy to rifle through the bones of their ancestors.
Please be careful here. The site isn't entirely secured.
There's no gold. Nothing shiny at all.
Don't sound so disappointed. You wouldn't be allowed to take it even if there was.
Like anyone would even notice in all this mess. Do you think there's treasure here? Something to make Jazar go? You are new, yes? Have you mastered the expert-level distraction spells yet? Ah, this is good. But Jizargo will know them first. It is good to finally be around mages who may be able to keep up with Jizargo. Oh yes, Jizargo hopes to find things that will make him a more powerful mage here. Hopefully small things that fit inside pockets and will not be noticed if they are missing. Because Torfdir says so. He says there are things to learn here. Oh, but you are wrong. The only reason you could disagree is because you are losing so badly you cannot see it.
This is a little creepy.
That doesn't begin
There is
to
much for
describe
Jizargo to be sure of.
Uncomfortable being here.
There is skill
I
in
just
magic,
don't know that
there
it's
is
right
charm,
for us
and
to
there is a strong will. Jizargo will be successful. Of this there is no doubt.
All right, then.
To think, my ancestors destroyed the homes of Onmund's ancestors. So much bloodshed. Before you even ask, yes, I know Winterhold. Does that cover everything? To think, my ancestors destroyed the homes of Onmund's ancestors. So much bloodshed. Why? Because it's old and full of dead things? Clearly, you've never spent any time in Morrowind. Not really. Just that it's very, very old. It was one of the first cities of men in Tamriel, I think. I'd better get going.
It's going to take forever to sift through all this. What? Ah, yes, you. I remember you. You're going to help? That's fine, just don't make a mess of my work. I've only looked through a portion of this section. You can look around in the chambers just north of here. Try and be careful, all right? We don't want to damage anything. Just round up the rest of the magical artifacts so that I can catalog them. Until next time.
What in the world was that racket? Is everything all right? How in the world did that happen? Really? Perhaps the amulet is important somehow. Is there some way you can use it? Do you see that? Some kind of resonance. You and the wall. It must be connected to the amulet. I wonder, what effect might your spells have? Try casting a spell at the wall. See what happens. Please be careful here. Well, would you look at that? This appears to lead somewhere. Let's see where it goes. Well, this is highly unusual and very interesting. Why in the world would this be sealed off? What is this place? I'm not sure what to expect here. Please be on your guard.
Hold, mage, and listen well. Know that you have set in motion a chain of events that cannot be stopped. Judgment has not been passed, as you had no way of knowing. Judgment will be passed on your actions to come, and how you deal with the dangers ahead of you. This warning is passed to you because the Psijic Order believes in you. You, mage, and you alone, have the potential to prevent disaster. Take great care, and know that the Order is watching.
I swear I felt something rather strange just then. What just happened? I'm afraid I didn't see anything. Can you tell me more about what you saw? The Psijic Order? Are you quite sure about that? That's very odd. And danger ahead? Why, that doesn't make any sense at all. The Psijics have no connection to these ruins, and no one's seen any of their order in a long time. Perhaps we should take a look inside these coffins. Now, please do be careful. Who knows what we're going to find? They were a group of mages with a history that predates the Empire. Very powerful, very secretive. No one among them in well over 100 years. They vanished, along with their sanctuary on the Isle of Artaeum. I have no idea what connection they'd have to this place. I have no idea, but it's fascinating. Assuming it's true, of course. The Isle of Artaeum disappeared over 100 years ago, and no one has seen them since. And yet now, suddenly, they've chosen to contact you. Why, it's intriguing. If nothing else, I'd take it as a compliment. The Psijics have only ever dealt with those they feel worthy. All right, then. Yo-yo! Be prepared to defend yourself. All right, then. Prepared to defend yourself. I've never seen anything like this in Nordic ruins before. Why, just look at all these coffins. This bears closer inspection. I'd like to stay a while and examine this. You, however, should press on. See if you can find whatever this vision of yours mentioned. But if it is truly dangerous, be careful. Go on ahead. I'll be sure and catch it. with you before long. Be careful. I thought it high time I caught up with you. Be prepared to defend yourself. Well now, would you look at that? I never imagined we'd find something like this. Why is this buried so far within Sarthol? What could this place be? What was that? Ah! Nothing seems to... Keep it. I'll try to drain some of its power. Ah! It's high time I caught up with you. Well now, would you look at that? I never imagined we'd find something like this. What was that? Over here. Got some fight left in me. No, it seems to work. Keep it busy. I'll try to drain some of its power. Now attack it. Ah! This is utterly unique. Be prepared to defend yourself. I have no idea. This is amazing. Absolutely amazing. The Archmage needs to be informed immediately. He needs to see this for himself. I don't dare leave this unattended. Can you return to the college and inform Savos Aran of this discovery? Please, hurry.
Another new apprentice, I see. Are you of the sort that believe you're here to change the world? Or are you only in it for yourself? I assure you that I shall be watching you, all of you, very closely. Now that stability has been established between the Dominion and the Empire, we seek only to help Skyrim, to guide its people through this time of transition, to help lead them to a better future. I am an advisor to the Archmage. The Thalmor wish to promote relations with your college. I am at the Archmage's disposal if he requires advice. Perhaps not as often as he should. In time, I believe he will be more trusting.
You are relatively new here, are you not? I have noticed you, but we have not spoken. Then allow me to introduce myself. I am Savos Arin, Archmage of the College of Winterhold. I am quite content to see nearly any aspect of magic explored and investigated here. But I do not and will not approve of any research or experiments that cause purposeful harm to your fellow members of the college. Are we clear? Personally? No, not I. One of their number used to advise the Archmage when I was but an apprentice here. But that was a great many years ago, before all the members of the Order were called back to the Isle of Artaeum, and it disappeared entirely. Purpose? I should think it's self-evident. Magic is a true power, not something to be shunned by commoners, or treated as an amusing diversion by politicians. It shapes worlds, creates and destroys life. It deserves proper respect and study. The college is a place where we can focus on that, without the pressures of the world weighing down on us. Purpose? I should think it's self-evident. Magic is a true power, not something to be shunned by commoners, or treated as an amusing diversion by politicians. It shapes worlds, creates and destroys life. It deserves proper respect and study. The college is a place where we can focus on that, without the pressures of... I've seen documents dating back to the late Second Era. Beyond that, it's hard to say. Events in the last several hundred years resulted in a significant loss of our history, I'm afraid. The Great Collapse, as it has come to be known. An unfortunate natural disaster that ravaged the area. The college fared far better than the city of Winterhold, but it was not left untouched. No one is sure of the cause. Some believe the eruption of Red Mountain had far-reaching consequences that were only felt years later. I know there are some who have blamed the college, said that we were responsible. I assure you this is not the case. The Sea of Ghosts practically came alive. No one was expecting it. Monstrous waves battered the shore for weeks on end. Winterhold was ancient and weathered, but it couldn't withstand the sea's fury. Entire districts of the city were lost overnight. The waves receded in time, but the damage was irreversible. Most residents of Winterhold abandoned what was left of the city. The college survived, and so here we remain. Not often, no. Some risks must be taken, to be sure. I am simply trying to avoid untimely deaths. We also must make an effort to avoid worsening what Skyrim thinks of us. Please don't tell me that another one of the apprentices has been incinerated. I have enough to deal with right now. Very well. I trust that you wouldn't be here were it not significant. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. Tolfdir normally looks after your little group, yes? Since he's apparently occupied, and I will need to see this discovery for myself, I think perhaps you should begin researching the subject. Speak with Urag in the Arcanium. See if he's aware of anything that matches your discovery. And good work. The next time you find yourself exploring Nordic ruins, perhaps this will be helpful. All right then. Keep your hands to yourself. If you require assistance with summoning techniques, please let me know. If you would, please also contain your summons to the college grounds. The locals do not need to be agitated further by Atronachs roaming their town. The summoning of undead is even less advisable outside the college. Not within society, no. Many who practice within the School of Conjuration do so on their own, secretly. Falion is the only one I know who is public about what he does. He was once my teacher here, but left the college years ago. I sure know. Those archaic policies died out with the Mages Guild, and were never enforced here. Necromancy, as any other type of magic, is a tool to be used. Of course, non-mages may not see it that way, so we don't go around flaunting it. He didn't like the Archmage, hated dealing with him, hated having to answer to him. Falion said he hated what this place was becoming, so he just left. Aron found a note on his desk, and that was it. I understand he settled down in Hjalmarch, and his presence there caused something of a problem. All right, then.
You are now in the Arcanium, of which I am in charge. It might as well be my own little plane of oblivion. Disrupt my Arcanium, and I will have you torn apart by angry Atronachs. Now, do you require assistance? A mage is only as good as what he knows. I try to make sure as much knowledge is available as possible. We've been keeping this collection since the Second Era. Books have come and gone during that time, but it's mostly intact. Of course I do. If I didn't, most of these books would have been burned to ashes or dissolved to nothing before the Third Era. Mages need to be reminded to be careful around research materials. As a matter of fact, there are. Have you ever heard of Shalador? Immensely powerful mage, back in the First Era. Had an understanding of magic few have ever matched. He holed himself up in Labyrinthian and devoted all his time to research and study, but more than you would imagine possible. Since then, his writings have been scattered all over Skyrim, but are little use to anyone who can't translate them. I'm one of the few who can. I've heard whispers of more of his work having turned up. If you can track it down, it may prove useful to all of us. I know what you want. Word travels fast around here. Discovered some big mystery, huh? Well, you don't even need to ask. No, I don't have anything for you. Not anymore, anyway. I said not anymore. Orthorn stole a number of books when he ran off to Felglow Keep to join those summoners. Some kind of peace offering. I think one of those volumes may have had some relevant information. If you want them, you'll have to talk to Orthorn. Let's just call it a difference of opinion with the college. They were interested in research that goes outside the bounds of what the college allows, so they were persuaded to leave. He was an apprentice here at the college. Not very skilled, but got involved with a group of mages who took a liking to him. When they left, he took off after them. Stole supplies and books from the college. I suppose as a way to ingratiate himself. Not enough to bother with. Archmage Aaron's approach to these things is just to let them sort themselves out. Although now it looks like you'll be doing the sorting. Good luck with that. Mm-hmm.
You there. I have questions for you. You were in Sarthal, yes? It has come to my attention that something was found there. I am well aware. Tolfdir is still in Sarthal, is he? I shall be expecting a full report from him when he returns. Something was discovered in Sarthal that was significant enough that Tolfdir sent a new member of the college, alone, to deliver word. That sounds precisely like the sort of thing that should matter to everyone, especially me. Thank you for your help. You may go now.
What could it mean? The return of the Dragonborn? Who among
Someone do something!
I'll kill you!
That's the best you can do! If you know any true sons, dog. Skyrim. Tell them to head to Windhelm. Ulfric Stormcloak